Welcome back to Leeds Lately for the live watch along of Leeds United versus Chelsea in the Premier League. Chelsea's lineup is on the screen and we will go through both lineups as there's been some major changes to Leeds' starting lineup. But before we get into that, welcome to all of our Leeds Lately members down in the chat below. Welcome to Chewy Backer, welcome to CB, welcome to Robert Wetzel, welcome to Karen Curtin. Let's just see. Welcome to Ryan Tune as well. Ryan Tune's been a member for 6 months. Thank you so much for your continued support, Ryan. And of course, to all of the rest of the Leeds Late members as well. And also, welcome to all of our non-members, those of you who watch the streams regardless. Thank you all. Also, we saw Trev became a member earlier on, so thank you so much, Trev, for becoming a YouTube member and supporting the channel. It really, really helps me out. But I hope you're all well. And I must say, after the second half of the Manchester City performance, I wouldn't say that I'm optimistic, but what I would say is that I'm less pessimistic than I was at the start of the Manchester City game, where I and pretty much the rest of us thought we were going to get absolutely walloped, because there was some changes in that second half that really, really made a difference to the way that Leeds played. It made a massive, massive difference in the game. What I'm hoping is that these next two games, the Chelsea game and the Liverpool game, can be the building blocks to get us practiced within this system, and to really push on then into some of the games that we should be winning. So that's what I'm hoping. Welcome to everybody who's joining us. Liam B saying we can't sit back and allow them too much possession. We have to be on the front foot right from the start. Yeah, and we at least need to be aggressive when, even if we are allowing them to have the ball at times, we need to be aggressive in saying, you've got to go out and get to the ball. You've got to stop them being able to play through the lines. And it's going to make a big difference to Leeds tonight, having that extra man in the back line. So as you can see on screen now, the Chelsea lineup is as follows: a 4-2-3-1. Sanchez in goal. Then you've got Chalobah, Tosin Adarabioyo, Badiashile and Cucurella making up the back four. Enzo Fernandes is in the midfield with Andre Santos, Estevao, João Pedro, Jamie Bino, Gittins and Liam Delap make up the rest of the attack of this Chelsea front line as well. Now on to the more important stuff, which is the way that Leeds have lined up. So if I press this button here, we should get a little flick over. So this is what I think is important here. Leeds have gone with a three at the back. Perry, Bogle, Rodon, Biol, Strauch and Goodmanson make up a back five, or a back three when Leeds are in possession, a back five when we're out of possession. I think both Bogle and Goodmanson have the ability to essentially play as wingers as well. They've both got the quality on the ball with the feet to deliver balls into the box, but also to actually make runs inside as wingers into the half spaces and do damage on the break as well. So I think that's a good sign from them. Then in the midfield, Stack is back fit again. So you've got Tanaka, Stack and Ampadu in that midfield, with Calvert-Lewin and Mecha up top. Now, it made a massive difference. And I think one of the big differences is when you're looking at that midfield, when we're playing a 4-3-3, Ampadu has to drop into the back line. And essentially that leaves you actually only with two players in the midfield, with two midfielders, which means we get overran in midfield areas. Whereas if you're playing three at the back, Rodon, Biol and Strauch can be those options for whichever one of them has the ball. And it means that Ampadu can actually stay in his midfield position, which if he's slightly higher up the pitch, it means that he can mark the number 10. And it means that players like Tanaka and Stack have a little bit more license to kind of go forward because you're always going to have that cover there. Of course, Goodmanson and Bogle can tuck in either side if they need to create a back four or even to create a back five if we're really up against it. I think it really, really works in terms of us getting defensively good blocks in front of the ball, good players in front of the ball. And I think the other main thing is, so of course I'm talking there about the way that they're playing out from the back and the fact that they'll have extra passing options to each other. What they'll also have is, okay, let's say that they've got three at the back and they've got no passing option. In fact, actually, what I may be able to do is, okay, yeah, perfect. So this is actually set up from the whatchamacallit? Oh, hold on. Why am I seeing that? There. Okay. Yeah, there you go. This is actually set up from the Liverpool preview, which is out tomorrow. Members might have seen that already. I know Chewy's watched it. But if you're looking at a situation like this is Liverpool, of course, but if it's Chelsea, imagine they're all blue. Biol's been given the ball from Lucas Perry, right? Let's say that his options here are obviously Rodon and Strauch. But let's say that they are both pressed in those positions there, and there isn't really too much of a passing option for Biol to make here. He can now go long a lot more effectively. Now, we've seen in the past, let's take Metcher off the pitch for a second. This is what you would be seeing. Calvert-Lewin would be on his own up front, where the ball would come to him, he'd try and bring it down, and there's no one in around him in that area to help him. Whereas if you've got two strikers, if the ball is going more towards Calvert-Lewin, Metcher can drop into this space here so that Calvert-Lewin can head it back to him, and then you get players beyond him trying to run into the spaces. Or Metcher decides to go beyond and get the flick on towards Metcher, and then obviously have support from whoever's coming in from the wings as well. So it makes a massive difference being able to go long and actually making the ball stick. You've got options to head it back to Goodmanson, Gruev or Ampadu or Tanaka might push up. Well, obviously, in this case, we need to change that actually because Stack would be the main one who goes in there. Stack then is probably one of the ones as well who's going to be able to receive that ball and look forward with it. And you've got options instantly because you've got two strikers. And if they've got four at the back, whatever team you're playing, you're occupying more of their defenders than you were with one striker. So it makes a big difference playing this back four, playing back five. And of course, when we're in defensive situations as well, we can drop right in like this. Ampadu, Tanaka and Stack can create a shield in front of that back line, Metcher and Calvert-Lewin there. So when the centre-backs do have the ball in these situations, we look so much more difficult to break down. If they go wide, you've got Goodmanson who can push. But in a normal situation, if the fullback pushes out like that, you're left a bit isolated on this side. But Strauch now can go and cover that whilst Biol and Rodon are still in position as the two centre-backs in front of the box. So it really makes a big difference in a lot of aspects as to how it can help Leeds in those attacking situations and defensive situations as well. So yeah, look out for that today with the three at the back, with the extra two in midfield as well. Welcome to everybody who is joining us. Welcome to John Garside. Welcome to Rich Bedford as well. Welcome to everybody who's joining us, and TJ Ray, of course, as well. Tim, welcome to the stream. Leeds United versus Chelsea kicks off in just over 5 minutes' time, and we're hoping for a repeat performance of the second half against Manchester City, which, of course, we won 2-1. If we hadn't have conceded those 2 goals in the first half, we would have, we would have been all right in that game. So just as we have a little look around the grounds, just out of interest for everybody else, yesterday, of course, Man City beat Fulham 5-4. Everton beat Bournemouth 1-0. Tottenham and Newcastle was a 2-2 draw. Brighton 2, Aston Villa 1 is live at the moment in the 39th minute. Also, Burnley 0, Crystal Palace 0 in the 38th minute. Wolves 0, Forest 1 in the 39th minute. Arsenal 1, Brentford 0. And of course, tonight at 8:15, Leeds United versus Chelsea kicks off, and Liverpool versus Sunderland kicks off, with Scum versus West Ham being tomorrow evening. So that's how it's shaping up across the Premier League at the moment. As it stands in the table, down at the bottom, Burnley's current position of drawing 1-1 has actually brought them up a position higher than us, but we are level on goal difference. We are level on points. They have just scored... Yes, they've scored more goals than us. We've scored the second lowest in the whole league in terms of goals scored. And, of course, Wolves being 1-0 down as well means that they are still on 2 points after 14 games. 2 points after 14 games. We've got a tough run of fixtures. Of course, we had Man City. Then we've got Chelsea. Then we've got Liverpool. If we come out of those 3 games with any points at all, then you're fairly happy with it, I think. We take a draw right now, Robert's saying. Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, I really would. Because the reason being, in the Championship, you're going no. But in the Premier League, you've got to pick up points where you can. If you could get a point, if you could get a point against one of the big boys, you're really, really looking good, because Burnley, of course, even though they're drawing at the moment, that gives them 1 point. Us 1 point takes us back above them again. So it really is fine margins in the Premier League. Players are heading out onto the pitch now as well. Chelsea are a very good side, hence their league position, and they're a very well coached side under Enzo Maresca as well. So yeah, it's important that we try to combat what they're going to do. They set up in a 4-2-3-1 on paper, but in the actual build-up, it's a lot more like a 3-2-5 that they're playing. And Cucurella will actually push way up there, go into the half space and allow Gittins to go out wide as well, with Palmer maybe dropping a little bit deeper into the midfield. It's what looks like an unbalanced system when they are within the ball, but it really helps them to progress the ball quicker. Of course, the lineup for Leeds United then is Perry in goal, a back 3 of Rodon, Bijol and Struijk. I imagine that Bijol will be the central one, Struijk on the left, Joe Rodon on the right. Across the midfield, Jayden Bogle, Altanaki, Ethan Ampadu, Anton Stack and Gabriel Goodmanson in behind Calvert-Lewin and Lucas Mecha. The Leeds United bench consists of Darlow, Piru, Aronson, Okafor, Harrison, Bornau, Justin, Gnonto and Gruev. Of course, let me just switch over. We'll go to the Chelsea. Oh, I've done it too many times. Here's the Chelsea lineup then. You've got Enzo Maresca's side have Sanchez Robert Sanchez in goal. Then you've got Trevor Chalobah, Tosin Adarabioyo, Benoit Badiashile and Marc Cucurella across the back line. Enzo Fernandez and Andres Santos in the 2 midfield roles. And then ahead of them, Estevao, João Pedro and Jamie Bino Gittins. Up front is Liam Delap. And on the bench for Chelsea is Jorgensen, Neto, Palmer, Hato, James, Gusto, Achempong, Dew and Garnacho. They are quite changed from their last fixture. 4 changes there. Can everybody else hear me fine and normal with the microphone, by the way? Just let me know. It sounds okay, I think. Testing, 1, 2, 3. How is the quality? Fiddlety D. Yep, seems fine, seems normal. Oh, I've just realised that it's still playing back everything I'm saying to me. Better mute that, because otherwise it's going to be a bit of a struggle to speak, kind of like one of those speech jammer things. Well, Leeds United then in our first December fixture. Yes, it is, isn't it? In our first December fixture of 2025, Let's see how we get on. Let's make sure we've got the timer up and everything. I know the first time I press it, it never actually starts. Oh no, it did start that time. How annoying. There we go. We are underway here at Elland Road. Yeah, and Palmer's on the bench as well. Here is Yakabiyol. Yeah, Strauch fell over there. Good job he maintained possession. Bijol is the one taking up the middle position. Strauch and Rodon take the left and right, respectively. Being that they are left and right-footed, and Bijol's probably the least mobile of the three. Makes sense for him to be the middle one. And probably the most physical as well. Ball out of play there from a Chelsea perspective, and it's going to be a Leeds. Do you know what? There was always something familiar to me about seeing 15 on the back of Bijol's shirt, but that was Dallas's number, wasn't it? And that's why it's familiar to me. I couldn't think of what was triggering it in my mind, but that was Stuart Dallas. Who is mad to think would still have been playing if not for that injury. Here's Calvert-Lewin, who plays a ball down the line for Metcher to chase, but Tosin is able to catch up with that and give it back to the goalkeeper Sanchez, but Cucurella quickly sends it into touch there under a little bit of a panic by the pressure put under them by Leeds. By the way, if a goal goes in at either end in this game, completely fine if you tell me about the goals in other games. If a goal goes in this game, please do not tell me until I have reacted to it, because I won't have seen it. It'll spoil it for me. Here is Ampadu with a long throw-in into the box then. Header on. Here's Bijol! Oh, his shot was blocked there, but Leeds are going to pick it back up through Ampadu, and now Bogle. Bijol. Would have been a good strike from Bijol as well, you know. From the edge of the box, it would have been an absolute thunderbolt. Would have been lovely to see that go in the top corner. Long ball forward here. Bogle wins the header against Cucurella. Nice little flick back by Calvert-Lewin. Bogle still up against Cucurella here. Now Rodon on the right wing, but a good ball down the line here has allowed Calvert-Lewin to get behind Cucurella here, and then Tanaka spoons it into the crowd. Unfortunate there, because that was a good move from Leeds, and Leeds seem to be the ones. I know it's only been 2.5 minutes, but Leeds seem to be the ones who have started the fastest. Of course, it's a home game, but still, you'd expect it would be the other way around. It was Stack that hit it, not Bijol. No wonder it was more accurate. It's Ampadu dropping that one back off to Pascal Strauch. Burnley 1-0 down against Palace. Thanks, Bert. Appreciate that. Here is Sanchez now. Robert Sanchez for Chelsea. Just tapping the ball out to have a look at sending it long. Calvert-Lewin was closing him down there. Header down the line there by Gittins is going to go out for a Leeds United throw-in just over by the technical areas. Here's Rodon back into Bijol now. All the way back to Perry. Perry with a long ball forward over the halfway line. Metcher trying to get a touch on it. He does, but it's cut out in the end. And the ball all the way back to Sanchez. I think this system also, Leeds have won the ball back there, it also allows us to press on their back line more, because there's less chance of them coming back at us because we've got so many players back. Cross into the box. Calvert-Lewin heads it. It's to the back post for Jayden Bogle. Crossed across and then cleared away by Enzo Fernandez. And good signs early on from Leeds here that we are really, really pushing for an early goal. This is working so far. The 3-5-2, both times we've seen it this season. Goals in the 1 to 15 minutes into the game. Most this season, Leeds with 4 are only second to Bournemouth with 5. Welcome everybody who's joining us so far in the opening 5 minutes. Leeds have been the ones pushing here for an opening goal. Chelsea haven't really had a sniff so far. But, of course, everything can change in an instant in football. Long throwing comes into the box. Headed away. Then shot by Stack. He's going to go out for another Leeds corner. Yes, it is. Sanchez can't quite get there in time, and it's a corner at the opposite side by the cheese wedge this time. Anton Stack then going over to take this one. Now, Leeds should, I think, playing this formation, also score more goals from set pieces, because you've got Strauch, Rodon, Biol, Calvert-Lewin and Metcher in the box for these. It's 1-0! That's what I just said. I called it. 1-0. Biol with the header. Leeds are 1-up. Come on. You had to say... We started so well that you've got to score in those situations, and Leeds have made Chelsea pay the price here. We've been dominant from the get-go, and the ball whipped in from that corner from Anton Stack. Biol at the front post, just too powerful for Robert Sanchez to keep out. He pushes it into his own goal, and it is 1-0 to Leeds United. Come on. Ball whipped in there. Yeah, great header by Biol. He gets a run on his man. It's Liam Delap who should be marking him, and Biol just absolutely gets a barnstorming run on that, and bang, straight in the top corner. Yeah, Sanchez can only push it into his own net. Great start to this game by Leeds. 1-0, 6 minutes in then. First goal for Leeds for Biol. Back underway again here. Here's Anton Stack trying to win the ball here against Enzo Fernandez, but no, Ampadu's picked it up here. Oh, they've been pickpocketed here, Leeds, by Chelsea, but Strauch can play that one back because it was a loose ball down the line. He can play it back to Perry, who sends it long towards Calvert-Lewin, who wins Leeds a free kick just inside the Leeds half by the halfway line here. Come on, Leeds. I tell you what, though, of the Farke versus Maresca rivalry that we had in the Championship, Maresca's clearly cheated by going to Chelsea and not sticking with Leicester. Leeds have had 5 shots, 1 on target, 6 touches in the opposition box, and 65% possession to their 0, 0, 0 and 35% possession so far. It's 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes, but it has been dominant. Here's Pascal Strauch. Now Anton Stack. Out wide to Goodmanson. Goodmanson back to Stack. Stack looking for an option down the line. Can't quite keep that one in. It's going to be a throw in here to Chelsea. Ball thrown into João Pedro there. Bit of a loose pass back from Enzo Fernandez, but Badiashile can just head that one back to Robert Sanchez. Tanaka coming out to press. Ooh. A lucky touch there by Cucurella because it was a heavy one, but Bogle's won the ball back and done well there to give it back to Pascal Strauch. Goodmanson's made a run there, but it perhaps wasn't on in that situation for Strauch. Just a bit too risky in that situation. Biol, Rodon, back now to Lucas Perry. Bit of pressure by Liam Delap here on the back line for Leeds, but they've dealt with it well, and the ball forwards now to Calvert-Lewin. But then it's headed all the way back by Tosin to Sanchez. Make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already, guys. And also remember that if you go to the Etsy link in the description, you can shop my Leeds United artwork, which is a great Christmas present for those of you who have Leeds fans as friends and family. And of course, as well, at the moment, there is 20% off on the store. And there is also a 15% sale if you use code Christmas25. Now, I'm not sure, but that might stack up to 35% off. So, and I think it probably will. So if you want to get 35% off, I would try the code at checkout. Foul by Strauch there on Estevao, and it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea. Already taken here is Cucurella down the left-hand side. Gives the ball to Gittins. Gittins to Andre Santos and gets it back again. Now back to Badiashile. Goal recap. Corner whipped in by Anton Stack. Jacobiel got a run on his man Liam Delap at the front post. Glancing header with a lot of power on it, which Robert Sanchez had to push into his own net because he couldn't keep it out. Here's Badiashile. Looking for a passing option. He's been cut out by Tanaka there. Here's Calvert-Lewin. He needs options. Now Mecha. He's got Goodmanson beyond him. The ball's behind Goodmanson. Leeds have still got possession, though. It just slowed down a little bit there. Goodmanson's had to go back in the end. Here's Biol. Look at that at the back. You've always got an extra passing option, and we do still seem to have a lot of players forwards. Here's Rodon. Now Bogle. Bogle with a good ball towards towards Calvert-Lewin, but it's gone over him there, and now Chelsea pick the ball up. Here's João Pedro. Great tackle by Ethan Ampadu there. They have won the ball back, Chelsea, but a really good tackle. Here's Badiashile. Now tossing. Back to Badiashile. Yeah, see, when Chelsea have got the ball, you can see that Chalobah, who is on paper their right back, is creating a back three for them. And Cucurella is essentially... He's almost at the moment playing in the number 10. If you're watching it, you can see him on the left-hand side of the picture, drifting into the space between the midfield and the defence. He gets so high up and essentially plays as an attacking midfielder in those situations. And Maresca himself has said he's got the skill set to do that, so that's why he utilises him there. And you can see that Chalobah on the right-hand side will stick in, basically. So they'll create more overloads down their left-hand side. But it does mean that they'll have a little bit less cover if Leeds are able to break down that side. Here's Goodmanson with a throw-in down the line. Flicked on by Calvert-Lewin. Kept in by Mecha there. And now Calvert-Lewin plays the ball down the line to Tanaka here. Tanaka is tackled there. And it's a very good tackle in the end. And it's going to go out for a Chelsea throw-in. Sanchez now. Badiashile. Back into Andre Santos, who's dropped in between the lines. Now back to Sanchez again. Sanchez with a little chipped ball out wide to the number 5 for Chelsea. Back into Andre Santos, who's again dropped into an almost centre-back position. Lofted ball out wide to Chalobah now. Chalobah down the line here to Estevao, who gives it back to Enzo Fernandez again. Long ball down the line, headed away by Strauch, and then cleared up by Biol. Here's Goodmanson. Goodmanson with a ball down the line towards Calvert-Lewin. Sanchez comes out and sends that one long. Tanaka heads that one back to Biol. Biol with a nice swept ball out wide to Gabriel Goodmanson, who's given away possession here and given away a foul in the end. So things have slowed down enough that Leeds aren't going to get caught out there. Here is Mark Cucurella. Now Gittins. Gittins trying to shape up against Bogle here to go past him. Bogle trying to get a foot in. Cleared away in the end by Jacobiol on the cover there. That's the joy there of having your extra centre-back, is that they can just go and try and sweep up the actual ball that's coming in rather than marking the men. Here's Badiashile. Now Adarabioyo. Chalobah. Enzo Fernandes. Into Andre Santos. Now Delap out wide to Estevao. Estevao looking to create something, gives the ball to Enzo Fernandez, whose cross is blocked by Anton Stack, and Lucas Perry can collect it in the end, although he did drop it at the feet of João Pedro for a second. João Pedro couldn't get it under his spell there, though. I don't know what Perry did there. Yeah, he has a few dodgy moments. Leeds cut back to the live play, and Leeds were knocking a ball into the box. It's going to be a Leeds corner kick, I think, there. Leeds have got a lot of play. I said it, but just before the last corner, I was saying Leeds have got, obviously, Stack's taking the corner, so not him, but you've got Biol, Strauch, Rodon, Metcher, Calvert-Lewin. That's 5 players, half your team where you expect them to get on the end of it and score a header from a corner. Land of the Giants is certainly a good idea if you can get a good ball in this situation. Ball whipped in. Headed by Strauch. Oh, Calvert-Lewin was at the back post. Strauch with a proper 50p head then, because again, Leeds were able to get on the end of a corner there. Oh, that's poor from Strauch. Yeah, Strauch doesn't get a clean connection on it. If he does, that's 2-0. That's 2-0 if Strauch was wearing less hair product, so it didn't slide off his head. That was a chance. It was a chance, wasn't it? Could have been 2-0. That would have been massive to go 2-0 up in this game. Here's Benoit Badiashile. Now tossing. Gets it back again. Out wide now to Chalobah. Down the line here to Estevao. Picked off by Stack, though. Stack's long ball forward could be chased there by Metcher. Oh, nearly gave the ball away there, Chelsea, but here they come again forward now. Here's Andre Santos. Out to Marc Cucurella. Cucurella's ball back inside there, but picked off in the end by combination of Biol and Ampadu, and then Metcher it was body checked there, so that's going to be a Leeds free kick just inside the Leeds half. Yeah, I think all 3 of our centre-backs look so much stronger in a 3. I think sometimes in modern football, you can kind of get a lot of joy by going against what everybody else is doing. Good ball forward there. I'll talk about that more in a minute. Oh, Bogle's offside in the end. You can get a lot of joy by going against basically what the rest of modern football is doing. And whilst Leeds are still going to be attempting to play nice passes, play through the lines and create chances, I think just the fact that we've got a lot of strong, big, physical players, we're going to cause problems for teams. Having Calvert-Lewin and Metcher on, who could bully centre-backs, which are not really... That was definitely a thing in the early 2000s and the 90s and stuff with your stronger, more physical strikers. Of course, Erling Haaland is the exception to the rule, really, about the modern striker. But the fact that Calvert-Lewin and Metcher are a bit more in the mould of old-fashioned hold-up men who can get on the end of headers and stuff, who've just won the ball back here. Here's Metcher. It can really cause problems for opposition defenders who aren't used to strikers being that physical with them. They've got a bit of a counter-attack on here, though, Chelsea, as they try and come forward. Jacobi, although, cuts that one out well. Oh, he's actually managed to get the ball to Goodmanson, and they've kept the ball in play here. Oh, the little flick by Metcher doesn't go back to a Leeds player. Now Estevao. Enzo Fernandez tries to cross that one in the box. Tanaka heads this time Strauch heads it away. Tanaka got rid of the first one. Tanaka trying to head that towards Calvert-Lewin, who flicks it onwards, but picked off there by Badiashile in the end, or Chalobah actually, I think it was. Here's Gittins. Clearance again by Leeds. No way through, say the Leeds back line. You shall not pass, says Strauch, Rodon and Biol in unison. Here is Badiashile. Now Andre Santos. Do you know what, as well? I think also this formation, because Dan James is injured, there's less of an argument to be going, oh, we're not playing with any traditional wingers. You've got Okafor, but Okafor can play as a striker. And I think you can also potentially fit Nonto into this system as a striker as well, if you want someone that's a runner in behind. Good switch of play there by Lucas Mecha. Here's Goodmanson. Now Tanaka. Good ball out wide to Bogle. That was the right pass there, and Bogle goes for a cross into the box, but it's the right decision in the end. Calvert-Lewin towards the back post, and no one's going to be able to get on the end of it. But again, a good move from Leeds. A good move from Leeds. Header from a corner. Ruggie was Biol at the front post. Yeah, Bogle tried to whip the ball into the box. It was actually going to be offside anyway. But he actually slipped and fell, and it meant that the ball just kind of rolled as a perfect pass to Calvert-Lewin, but I think both strikers were offside anyway. Here's Cucurella. Bogle and Cucurella having a bit of a go at each other there, I think. He is Clive, but sometimes I think our strikers are too eager to go and they get caught offside, whereas Bogle's always going to put that on a plate. If you can get Bogle into that position, he's good at whipping the ball around the corner in front of the goalkeeper but behind the defenders in that corridor of uncertainty that we love so much on this channel. We haven't mentioned actually for quite a while. Here's Liam Delap. Left-footed pass out wide to Gittins on the opposite wing. Bogle trying to close him down there. Tanaka helping out. Here's Estevao out on the right-hand side this time. Goodmanson trying to stop him. Goodmanson looked like he potentially could have fouled him, but not according to the referee. Calvert-Lewin can't quite get on the end of the clearance by Leeds, and here come Chelsea again. There is a little bit of a switch in kind of tempo in this game, but Leeds don't seem to be... look, it was obviously going to happen because Chelsea are a better side than us, but Leeds don't seem to be struggling too much dealing with it at the moment. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Now Chalobah. Now Estevao. Great sliding challenge there by Goodmanson, and then Stack down the line here for Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin not got the pace though, so he's going to have to look for an option here. Good ball inside to Mecha. First time pass back to Anton Stack. Stack driving forward. Stack comes into the box now. Drops it off to Tanaka. Tanaka with his left foot has really, really dragged that wide there. But again, good little bit of play. You can see how the fact that Anton Stack is so much more willing to go forward is going to really help out Calvert-Lewin and Mecha in those situations. Yeah, it's poor from Tanaka in the end with the strike, but the promising signs are there that that's a really good bit of build-up play. Long ball forward here from Enzo Fernandez, headed away by Biol. Ampadu will head that one away. Do you know what, though? I think Leeds will be happy as a team with long balls that are supposed to go over the top. They'll send them back all day, every day. They don't mind that. A long ball over the top with those three centre-backs, you're just going to head them straight back into the midfield again. The way to unlock a defence like Leeds here in this situation with this three at the back is to drag them out of position, is to have those rotations between midfielders and fullbacks and midfielders and attackers to pull players out of place and then slot the ball through those gaps. Here's Estevao. Chalobah. But Leeds pretty good at holding their positions at the moment. Here's Chalobah. Now Enzo. Forgot about the Ampadu angle. Of course, Ampadu had his entire youth career at Chelsea before transferring to Sheffield United, then a couple of spells abroad in Italy before finally signing for Leeds. Cucurella tries to get the ball in the box there, away by Biol, and now Calvert-Lewin into Stack. Stack tries to play that one forward, but he does slip. That's probably the fifth or sixth player that slipped in this game already. The pitch looks very, very slick by the sounds of it. Ball across the box there that they tried to cut back from the byline is cut out by Yacobiol there. Yeah, I think what it is, Clive, as well, is that I think Biol's going to look... It's going to make Biol look good in that position because Strauch and Rodon, you imagine, are... When the ball's coming into the box from crosses and crossing situations, Strauch and Rodon are your traditional centre-backs who will... One will mark the one in the box, one will kind of go to the front post. Biol's essentially a free man in there to either go and pick up a player if there's one he needs to, or go and deal with the ball. Rodon heads that one away, and then Biol heads it as well, but Gittins has got there. Gittins with a cross into the box. Chested down there by João Pedro, but it was so powerful that Leeds are going to be able to take the ball off him and clear it here. Calvert-Lewin and Mecha going for the same ball there, and Andrés Santos is going to be able to take it back towards the Leeds United goal here. Here's Santos. Now Enzo Fernandez. Estevao looking to shape up to shoot. Curls it wide in the end. Chelsea corner, though, must have taken a deflection there. Yeah, maybe off Goodmanson. Corner here to Chelsea. Here is Enzo Fernandes then to take this one into the box. Ball into the box, headed. Leeds need to get this away. A volley, blocked by Goodmanson again, and now Stack is going to be the first to get there. Mecha is on the run ahead of him, but no real passing options, although the one straight through, but Robert Sanchez is alive to it, but Stack's picked it up. Tackled there, though, and now Chelsea have the ball back. Well, yeah, it's very adaptable, Isaac, isn't it, as well? When you've got the ball and you're playing forward, you're in a 3-5-2 because your fullbacks essentially are your wingers. But when you haven't, you can easily drop back into 5-3-2 to defend when you're going up against the ball. Yeah, make sure you hit the like button, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We've got good numbers tonight for what is so far a very good game. Here's Andrés Santos, Cucurella, who's found himself out in the half space on the right-hand side this time. So if Leeds can get a break down our right, their left, Cucurella's not going to be able to get back at all. Here's Gittins with a cross towards the back post. Goodmanson's just going to let that run, though, and it's going to be a Leeds goal kick. Mecha is holding his hamstring here, which is very disappointing because things were going very well in this game. He's pulling his toes and stretching his hamstring out. Farke's going, oh, for God's sake, why did they get so many injury-prone players here? But you have got Okafor, who can come off the bench and be a little bit of a different option in that attack. But Mecha has scored in his last 3 games. All 3 losses, but he's scored in each of them. Well, that's the question, Clive. Yeah, there's Piru and there's Okafor. So both offered good things, though. Piru offers the ability to basically drop off and play as a bit more of a number 10 who will get into the box as well and try and finish things off. And you've also got Okafor, who's a little bit more of a tricky winger who can play off the last man. For this game, I don't know, really. He probably will carry on, for a little bit, but he might go again. I imagine at some point that substitution will be made, though. I'm genuinely couldn't decide between them. They both offer different things. That's going to be a throw into Chelsea here. Farker's asking why Mecha can't come back on the pitch yet again. Oh, so actually, technically, we should have more people than if Joe's not streaming. Where are they all? All come here. I'm manifesting that they all come to this stream and we'll have like 400 on. Here's Andre Santos. Now Badiashile. Chalobah now. Ball forward, headed away by Rodon. Oh, picked off there by Liam Delap, but again, Leeds are able to clear it with that extra man back there. Another throw into Chelsea here. Certainly, the balance of the game, has changed a little bit, and Chelsea is certainly in it more, and they are certainly dominating a lot of the possession in this game. But what I will say is that Leeds don't look like we're struggling too much to deal with it. Burnley 1-0 down, by the way, to Palace. Wolves, Forest 0-0. Liverpool, Sunderland 0-0 as well. Arsenal 1, Brentford 0. Brighton 2, Aston Villa 2 as well. There were the 2 early kickoffs, those last 2. Here's Estevao. Goodmanson gets a good little touch on that. I think that's actually going to be a Leeds goal kick when it should have been a corner there to Estevao, but good defending there from Goodmanson. Why are we still just seeing Estevao's head as he walks back from the corner? Like, shows the actual game. Stubbing his toe. Cole Palmer's last injury was stubbing his toe, apparently, so that's good, isn't it? Strauch with a good foot there, but the ball still managed to fake its way to Liam Delap. Ampadu has now gone down. A few little tasty challenges flying in there, and Ampadu in the end landed on top of the ball. Let's see, Estevao plays the ball down the line. Ampadu, yeah, it's actually Biol that injures Ampadu there. Imagine that, two of your players breaking each other. But they're both okay, and we're underway again here. Here's Adarabioyo. Now Chalobah. Chalobah back to toss in again. And now Badiashile. Mecha comes out to press, and Calvert-Lewin. You can see the formation at work here with the 2 strikers just pressing when the ball goes near them, but not committing too much to it. Ampadu with a clearance there as they try and play forward. Cucurella, though, brings that clearance down, and Badiashile can't quite keep it in. And it's going to be a Leeds throw-in. With the colour of Maresca's tracksuit, he looks like he's in like an NSYNC music video. It's like a stone grey, like a quite light stone grey. Almost beige, but a bit more grey. And he's like a full tracksuit and puffer jacket, and he looks like some sort of early 2000s music video. Here's Estevao out on the right-hand side up against Goodmanson here. Knocks it inside to Enzo Fernandez, who's shot blocked there by Anton Stack. Now Badiashile. All the way back to Robert Sanchez, the Spaniard in goal for Chelsea tonight. He's tossing. Now Enzo Fernandez. That's a loose pass there by Andre Santos, and here's Anton Stack charging forward now. Here's Stack. He's still going. Stack goes to shoot, and the shot is deflected, and it's another Leeds corner. We know how dangerous we've been in this game from these corners, so yeah, Anton Stack does really well to drive forward there, but as he looks up, he doesn't really have any options, and he just has to go for a shot. He perhaps could have rolled it down the line for Tanaka to cross back in there, but a corner's as good as a cross in this situation. Stack then goes across again to take the corner kick. Stack then with a cross in, headed away this time. Picked up by Tanaka though. Now Gabriel Goodmanson. All the Leeds players back on the edge of the box. Goodmanson trying to go past Enzo Fernandez here. Goodmanson with the ball in the box. Sanchez is able to catch that one in the end, and he's going to roll it out for a quick break here for Chelsea. That's going to be a yellow card to Anton Stack there, definitely. Slid in there on Cucurella, who's trying to play the ball forward. I actually think, like, sometimes who do these refs think they are? Like, these footballers are grown men and they treat them like they're kids sometimes. Stack came over to say, that wasn't a yellow, it was a yellow card, but he came over to go, that wasn't a yellow card, that wasn't a yellow card. I could read the referee's lips that as Stack was saying, Stack was going, oh yeah, that wasn't a free kick, whatever. The referee was going, no, like he's a bad dog or something. Like, what is that? That gave me the ick. Like, why are you speaking to a grown adult like that? Here is tossing. Goes all the way back to Sanchez again. Possession in the last 10 minutes, Leeds have only had 11%. It's not, I don't think it's a YouTube glitch. I think it's more that it just now shows everybody's @name rather than their chosen name. Calvert-Lewin could have played the ball back into the path of Tanaka there, but it's played it straight into touch. It's just a bit sloppy from Leeds at times. When we do get the ball back after having not much possession, we seem to be a bit wasteful with it. Ooh, bit of a panicked situation there from Badia's Shield, but gets it back to Sanchez in the end, and now he is tossing. Chalobah. It's mad that a team like Man City, they've conceded 6 goals in the last 2 games and won both. Like, how's that possible? Conceded 6 goals in 2 games and won both of them. Here's Chalobah. There must be a there must be a record of conceding a certain amount of goals in like the 2 games and actually winning them. I also put out a tweet earlier as well that it must be some sort of record that we've played 3 bald managers in a row. Ball down the line here. Cut out, though, by Goodmanson well. Got a good tackle in on Esteval there, but it's going to be a throw-in to Chelsea. Goodmanson again comes and takes it off the young Brazilian winger. Thrown back now. Here's Enzo. Esteval plays the ball forward, but Leeds pick it up again. Here's Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin goes down, nothing given though, and now João Pedro comes forward, slips it towards Liam Delap, but in the end his shot is tame into the gloves of Perry. Liam Delap falling to the ground in the penalty area, but let's have a look at it again. There's shouts for a penalty from a Chelsea side. No, he's already shot. Strouk's trying to block the ball. He just trips. He's already taken the shot. So surely that doesn't get given as a penalty ever. Long ball forward here from Chelsea. A bit more space opening up in the Leeds back line. Leeds need to just be careful of that. Rodon going out to combat Gittins here. Of course, signed from German side Borussia Dortmund in the summer after having a very good season for them. Esteval again gets... Oh, that's a yellow card, or if not more. So, again, Goodmanson gets the better of Esteval, and Esteval just boots him in the back of the ankles. Cynical foul to trip him up as a yellow card, but he boots him. That might be violent conduct, red card for me. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. Let's have a look at it again. So, I don't know if anybody else saw that there. He just kicks him in the back of the... Like, it's one of them where it's like, it's a hard yellow, it's an orange card. But, like, I don't know. Like, he just booted him in the back of the legs. He gets himself a yellow card, but I don't know. Like, do you get what I mean? There needs to be some sort of, like... That's a hard yellow. Back underway here. Here's Perry. Long ball forward. Oh, the ball towards... Oh, nearly got through to Bogle there, and it's going to be another corner kick to Leeds. It's going to be another corner to Leeds here, and another chance. Look, 5 minutes before half-time... A corner kick situation and the guys that we've got on the pitch that can do stuff from corners, you've got to be making the most of these situations. Here's Anton Stack. Corner comes into the box. Here's Tanaka as it comes out to the edge and it's gone over everyone. It's going to go out for a goal kick. Shocking. Shocking. Leeds need to hold on to half-time here. If we can create a chance and score a goal, then it's going to be unreal. Right before half-time. Oh, Strauch with a poor touch there, but it's managed to work out. Here's Ampadu. Now Yakubiyol. He's going to have to go all the way back here to Lucas Perry. Perry with a long ball forward. Brighton are now 3-2 up against... Aston Villa are now 3-2 up against Brighton after being 2-0 down. Long ball forward there from Perry again towards Mecha. Headed away, though, by Tosin Adarabioyo. And again, Goodmanson gets the better of Estevao. The more that happens, the more angry he gets. And hopefully he gets himself a red. Ball down the line there from that throw-in, and it's... Oh, Leeds have won the ball back here. Can Bogle get there? He can. Here's Tanaka who shoots. Yes! 2-0! Tanaka from the edge of the box. He's just absolutely blasted it in. 2-0 to Leeds. Come on! What a finish! Honestly, he's had a few from the edge of the box this game that have been absolutely shocking. Dragged either side of the post, but that one was a laser into the back of the net. Scores his first Premier League goal. What a finish. 2-0 to Leeds against Chelsea. Come on. What a finish. What a laser that is. It stays hit, that as well. It goes perfectly straight, arrows into the corner. It doesn't even spin. Once he hits it, it doesn't even spin. It just stays hit. Woof. It's made a huge difference, hasn't it, Robert? The formation has made such a huge difference. Look, and this is the thing as well. They've been dominating us for the last 15, 20 minutes, and we're 2-0 up. Do you know what? We'd have had a point out of City as well if that Bernardo Silva one where he fouled our goalkeeper, like... That shouldn't have been a goal from that corner. Ampadu clears that one away as Liam Delap tries to head it down. Calvert-Lewin, what we say, he bought a foul there. Come on, Leeds. Come on, Leeds. Such a good first half. Parag watching on from the stands. Leeds with the ball on the edge of the Chelsea box here. Here's Tanaka again out on the wing. Back to Rodon, who gives it back to Bogle, who crosses it in, and a deflection from Badia's Shield nearly takes it past Sanchez, who just get on the end of it in the end. I think they may have underestimated us with the lineup that they went for. There is a few minutes added on to this first half. 3 minutes it is added on to this first half. You'll see that come up on the screen now, everybody. Headed away by Jacobillo. Now Calvert-Lewin. But Chelsea do win it back fairly swiftly here. Here's Tosin. Now Enzo Fernandez. Estevao. Little ball down the line here to Enzo Fernandez. Great tackle there by Goodmanson, who's having a barnstorming game so far. Defensively, at least. And then Goodmanson feels like he was fouled there by Andre Santos, and it's been given. I don't know, because the reason for sacking Farke for anyone is that he's not good enough to win us games of football. But if he sticks with this formation and we start performing better and win, I don't care who's in charge as long as we're winning games of football. So if it's Farke and he's changing to this formation and it's working, then yeah, I don't see an issue. Keep him. Cross into the box again from that. It's going to be able to be cleared there by Badia's Shield, but picked up by Bogle. Now to Anton Stack. Leeds with a few players still forward here. Stack out on the wing. Crossed it in left-footed. Headed away by Andre Santos. That's going to be a free kick there by from Goodmanson on Estevao, and it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea just outside their own box. Now Badia's Shield carries the ball out from the back, gives it over to Chalobah on the opposite side. Here's Tosin. Look, Sunderland beat Chelsea, so why can't we? João Pedro back to Badia's Shield. Gary Neville's getting annoyed at Chelsea for not passing forward, but I'm happy for them to play sideways and backwards as much as possible. A lot of their players are like throwing arms up and going, I've got no one to pass to, and knocking the ball backwards. So the more frustrated they get, the better. Here's Anton Stack. Now Mecha gives the ball back to Jacobillo now, and now over to Joe Rodon. All the way back to Lucas Perry here. That is officially 48 minutes, and that is officially half-time. Leeds United go in at the break 2-0 up. That is where we stand at the moment. What a start to that game we had. Look. Really, really, really good start to the game. Right, as usual, everybody, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. But we take a quick 2 or 3 minute break at half time, fill up water bottles, everybody goes to the loo and things like that. And I'll be back shortly and we'll discuss the first half and move on to talking about the second half and everything as well. I will be back. Hello, we're back. Sorry, let me just check something. Just pinch myself a sec. Oh, yeah, we are 2-0 up against Chelsea, actually, in the Premier League. Ooh, what a first half that was. Hey, good start to the game, really good start to the game. Get on the end of a corner, get a header in the back of the net, and then protect what you've got. And then when you are protecting what you've got, you go and score another goal as well. I think this formation is perfect for Farke as well. And the reason that I think... I didn't actually, Chewy. I just thought of it when I got back. I was actually going and seeing the kitten as well, so I wasn't on the loo. The reason I think it works so well for Farke as well, there's people often accuse him of, when we go ahead, being too defensive and sitting off and sitting back too much. But I think that this formation allows you to sit back and protect a lead whilst actually attacking and creating still. So yeah, that's what I mean. Like, yes, you can have three at the back and you can still defend strongly, but then you can still get a goal like Tanaka's where you've still got players in the attack when you need them. What a leap, by the way, for Bijol's first goal. He got his run on Delap and he just left him for dead. Yeah, that was their best chance, really, was the one where they... where Liam Delap just kind of poked it towards the goal. Thank you so much for the super chat there. Now, if I'm correct, your normal name was Akira Shibata, wasn't it? But it's given you your at name instead. Max, am I right in thinking that it's not just a switch to a 5-3-2 formation, but also a shift from zonal defensive system to more man-oriented defense? I think there can be a mixture, because I think that it's like, yes, you can have some of them, like Rodon and Strauch might have a man to follow, but then Bijol's got a zone to mark, which is essentially anything comes into that middle bit. So I think it's a combination of both. I think you've got that ability to set up man-to-man if you need to, because you've got extra defenders back there. But when you've got a free man, he's got a zone to defend and he's got a place to cover. So that's where I like it to be as well. Thank you so much for the super chat, Akira, as well. Let me make sure I go and like that. There we go. Thank you. Oh, the teal goal ended. Let me start another super chat goal. 1 hour. Instead of a miracle might happen, a miracle might continue. Start the super chat goal. There we go. Oh, well, of course, Liverpool. Let's have a look around the scores around the grounds at the moment then. Aston Villa still 3-2 up against Brighton after being 2-0 down. Crystal Palace are beating Burnley 1-0. Wolves are 1-0 down to Forest. Arsenal 1-0 up at Brentford. Leeds 2-0 up against Chelsea. Liverpool, Sunderland is 0-0. As it stands, the league table, Leeds United would go up to 17th place on 14 points. We'll go up to 17th place on 14 points, just 1 point behind Forest, who are currently winning in their game. What we don't want to do is lose touch of the likes of Fulham. Bournemouth were like second and third, weren't they, for a long while? Villa have gone up to third above Chelsea. As it stands, of course, that is. But yeah, Leeds need to stick with this pack. They've basically up to like 12th place is 5 points ahead of us already, which makes a big difference. But if we can stick to Fulham, who are in 15th with 17 points, and get away from this bottom pack, instead of competing against West Ham, Burnley and Wolves, we'd be looking to compete with Forest, Fulham and Bournemouth, essentially. Why do we want Wolves to get a goal back? We don't. Who are they playing against? Forest. I suppose, yeah, it wouldn't really make much of a difference for Wolves to go on to... I suppose it wouldn't really make too much of a difference for Wolves to go on to 3 points rather than 2. And Forest would go back down to 12 points, which would mean that we'd go up to 16th. So, yeah, if they could draw that game... Yeah, agree, Michael. Biol seems to prefer the 3. Yeah, it allows him to be the free man in the box. We were talking a bit about that in the first half. It allows him to be that free man where Strauch and Rodon go and deal with most things. And Strauch and Rodon go and deal with most things. And he can basically sit in the middle and sweep everything else up. Joe's ill, I think. I think he's just ill. Well, we should only be a few minutes away from kicking off again here. Go back through the lineups. Chelsea, of course, coming into this game, made 4 changes from the lineup in their last game. Chalobah comes in at right back, who essentially then plays as a centre back with Tosin and Badiashile, while Cucurella pushes forwards. Fernandes and Santos in that midfield. Neither of them seem to be able to get the ball into the front men, and the front men don't seem to be able to do much for Chelsea in this first half in terms of going forward. But I think that they are definitely going to make half-time substitutions, Chelsea. So we really need to be prepared for what's going on. Aston Villa are now 4-2 up against Brighton after being 2-0 down. But what I'll say is, I think there's going to be some big changes from Chelsea at the half-time whistle. I think, yeah, like Trev says, you're potentially seeing Cole Palmer come on, Pedro Neto. Who else have they got on the bench? There's a few other players that can come on. Garnacho. There's got a few attacking players who can come on and affect this game, really. Of course, they are, I think, completely without Caicedo in this game, which makes a huge difference to them because he's obviously been one of the best midfielders in the world of late, and I think missing him makes a big difference. I think Howard Wilkinson's getting a Lifetime Achievement Award at Elland Road at the moment. Oh, induction into the National Football Museum's Hall of Fame. Sorry, I'm going on Chelsea, aren't I, to see who they've got on the bench. Let's have a look. Yeah, so their bench is Jorgensen, who's a goalkeeper, Achampong, Gusto, James, Hato, Palmer, Garnacho, Neto, and Zhu. So they have got a few players that can come off the bench, but they are without Caicedo, which makes a huge difference. And they are going to be bringing on Malo Gusto. And Pedro Neto as well is coming on for Chelsea. So he's going to be replacing Estevao. And Gusto is replacing Badiashile. That's the changes to the Chelsea lineup then. I am imagining that Chalobah and Adarabioyo. Chalobah will move into the centre-back position. Adarabioyo takes up the other one. Gusto will go out to right-back. Cucurella left-back. Neto will be a straight swap for Estevao. That is, as it stands, the half-time changes that we're seeing. As far as I know, Leeds United are not making any half-time substitutions in this game. Yeah, Leeds are all heading back out onto the pitch now. As far as I can tell, there's no Leeds United changes at the moment. Those of you who are just rejoining us, 2 changes at half-time for Chelsea. Malo Gusto comes on and he's going to go in at right back. He comes on for Badiashile, and Pedro Neto replaces Estevao over on the right wing, which is more of a straight swap. We are just about to kick off again here. Bloody hell, ref, blow your whistle. Potentially we see Pirro or Okafor. It was Okafor that he brought on in the City game. We are underway again here. Here's Sanchez with a long ball forward as we start the second half. Leeds United leading 2-0. Goals from Yakubiyol and Al Tanaka in the first half gave Leeds a 2-0 lead at half-time. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you're old here, hit that like button. And if you want to really support me more, either leave a super chat or you can head down to the description below and get yourself some Leeds United artwork designed by me. There's a Christmas sale, Christmas 25. If you use that code at checkout on my Etsy store, you'll get 15% off. And there's already a 20% off on the website as well. So you should get 35% off if you want to get some Christmas presents for your nearest and dearest who are Leeds United fans. Anyway, here is the game again. Here is Malo Gusto with his first contribution, knocking that ball back there to Chalobah. Here's Pedro Neto cutting inside. Ball to João Pedro, cleared by Strauch. Calvert-Lewin trying to hold that one up. He's doing well to do so, and he'll win Leeds a free kick there. Chalobah with a little bit too much pressure on the back of Calvert-Lewin, and it's going to be a free kick to Leeds. Arsenal have made it 2-0 against Brentford. Saka with a goal in the 91st minute there. Here's Lucas Perry. Remember, guys, as well, if you are new here, don't say if a goal goes in until I've reacted to it, and then you can put whatever you want after I've reacted to it. Here's Goodmanson, because otherwise I won't have seen it and it'll spoil the game for me. 134 likes, that means a goal's coming. Here's Ampadu charging forward here. Ampadu with a really good run. Plays the ball out wide to Goodmanson now. He's got Stack in support, but goes for a first-time ball into the box. Calvert-Lewin couldn't quite get on the end of Metcher's lofted header there, but a clearance by Chelsea only goes as far as Anton Stack. Now Rodon to Bogle. Bogle back off to Anton Stack there. Anton Stack with a cross into the box. Oh, so unlucky there for Metcher. Really good ball into the box from Anton Stack, and Metcher's shot saved point blank by Robert Sanchez there, and it's going to be eventually a Leeds United throw in there. It's a really, really good ball into the box from Stack there. Metcher just needs to get it either side of the goalkeeper and unfortunately hits it straight at the Spaniard. That's unlucky, that, because we could have easily put the ball in the back of the net for 3-0 there. Long throw in from Ampadu. Headed by Rodon. Oh, Calvert-Lewin goes for the bicycle kick, ends up in row F, roughly, in the south stand. No, sorry, that is not the south stand, that's the Kop. Yeah, he couldn't get over it there, and Gusto was putting pressure on it. Come on, Leeds. That was a really, really good chance for Mecha to make it 4 goals in 4 games. He's our top scorer, isn't he, Mecha, with 4 goals in total. Here is Mecha knocking it back to Anton Stack now. Stack, I think, adds more than what we Gruev's a good defensive player, but I think Stack adds so much more in terms of going forward over on that left-hand side of the central midfield 3. He really can support Goodmanson and whichever striker is on that side as well. I think he makes a big difference in there. Here is Stack again winning the ball back. Biol now. Now Tanaka with a bit of space here. Goodmanson. Stack. Ball forward there. And a chance for Chelsea to play into a bit of space here. Leeds are getting players back, though. Cucurella. Back into João Pedro. Down the line now to Gittins. He's gone past Bogle. Tries to cross it into the box. Pedro. It's 2-1. Pedro Neto at the back post makes it 2-1. Yeah. You could see that we were outnumbered on that break there, but we've got to be more alive to things like that. You cannot have a first half like that and then concede straight away after half time. You've got to hold on longer than that. Goodmanson's not active enough there. He needs to get that clear. I think Goodmanson just lets it go. I think he doesn't think anybody's there, and then it just goes, yeah. Come on, Leeds. See, the thing is, that's the Premier League for you. Mecha had that chance, which really, really should have been 3-0, and now it's 2-1 a couple of minutes later. That's the Premier League. You've got to finish chances like that. If Mecha finishes that, this game's done. But now, as it stands, they're in the ascendancy here. Come on, Leeds. Let's not do a Leeds. Let's just play exactly how we have been playing, apart from the defensive error then. He had time to take a touch in the box then. Pedro Neto. You can't allow him that space and time to take the ball down and shoot. Goodmanson should have been alive to it, but we'll save more conversation about that for the match reaction. Here's Liam Delap coming into the box now. Goes to shoot, side netting. But already you can see they're getting more chances. You can look. We're 2-0 up at home against Chelsea, right? So yes, we should be winning this game at 2-0 up. But what I will say is that this is not a game we're expected to win. So if we do, it's a really, really good 3 points and a good victory. But if we don't, there's been some very... If we play like this against a team that's not as good as Chelsea, we should win. But it's all well and good when you haven't got points on the board. Cole Palmer seems to be warming up. Not sure if Cole Palmer even knows what city he is in. Calvert-Lewin tries to flick that one on. Oh, he just loses out there as an extra player that he didn't know about. Mecha's been penalised for the tackle on Chalobah there, and it's going to be a Free kick to Chelsea. No, less of the pessimism, Carlos. Less of the pessimism. Burnley 0, Palace 1 at full time. Thanks for the update, Karen. Let's be positive, everybody. Until the bad thing happens, remain positive and remain calm. They've just given the ball away again. Oh, so unlucky for Anton Stack there. And now Strauch took the ball off the defender again. Leeds are still going forward here. Here's Jayden Bogle with a cross into box. Calvert-Lewin to Metcher. The ball's bouncing around. Metcher! 3-1! It's not going to count. The referees, the linesman saying it's not going to count. Let's have a look, though. Oh, let's have a look. So, Tanaka, Bogle playing it forward. Yeah, Calvert-Lewin and Metcher both offside. I'm going to take that one off instantly. There's not even a question about that one. Just stay on side, lads. Two strikers there are so over-eager. Just stay on side. There's two of you there. There's no need to be offside. Yeah. But look, that's another ball we've had in the back of the net. That's another ball we've had in the back of the net. So there's every chance that we can do that again without it being offside. Ball all the way back to Robert Sanchez then. Gusto. Back to tossing. Now all the way back to Robert Sanchez. Oh my God, I thought he'd given it straight to Calvert-Lewin there, but he even did me with his cut across the box. Here's Metcher battling for it. Cucurella heads it, but only as far as Anton Stack, who gives it to Bogle. Bogle definitely fouled there, referee. Hang on. Long switch there out to Pedro Neto, and they've got a break on, but surely that was a foul at the start of the build-up. Ball still going in the box there. It's actually a free kick to Leeds. Good defending by Goodmanson then. I think there was a foul in the build-up. If that had been a goal, it would have been chalked out anyway, surely. Come on, Leeds. Free kick / in a goal kick area for Perry. He's going to send it long here and hope that Calvert-Lewin or Metcher could get on the end of it. Get the knockdowns and then get players in around him. Long ball forward here from Perry. Calvert-Lewin goes to ground but nothing given. So does Enzo Fernandez and nothing given again. Long ball over the top. Biol's going to have to knock this one back to Perry. Perry calmly knocks it back to Biol. Good defending from Leeds there. Now Goodmanson. Oh, tries to play it down the line there, and Gusto in the end can just play it all the way back to the goalkeeper after interception. Intercepting. Halfway between interception and intercepting is intercepting. Here's João Pedro. Now Mark Cucurella. Little nutmeg from Gittins there on Tanaka. Ball all the way back to the centre-backs, though, in the centre circle here for Chelsea. Now Enzo Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Back now to Enzo Fernandez. Cross here to Chalobah. Delap goes to shoot from outside the box there. That's over the bar, and it's going to be a Leeds goal kick. It's speculative there, really, from Delap. Always falling away from goal with his shot. Looks like Garnacho and Palmer are being ready to come on here for Chelsea. Tanaka now. Stack. Ampadu. Bogle. Has to go back there to Rodon because there wasn't really any options beyond him. Rodon with a good ball, though, into Stack, who'd made a run across there. Now Bogle again. Back to Rodon. I think Chelsea are putting a bit more pressure on us as well now. So if we can bypass that press like Perry's tried to do there, but not very well, there's a chance we expose them at the back. And the more this game goes on, the more they're going to try and push for a goal as well. So there's chances to open them up on the break as well, I imagine. Pedro Neto with the ball down the line here. Yacobillo can't quite, or can he get there ahead of Gusto? He's done really well there, Yacobillo. Looked like he wasn't going to get there ahead of Gusto. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Gittins. Gittins with a cross. Cleared away by Anton Stack. Yeah, Dean saying about time for Leeds changes. It might be, but I'm not sure who that is at the moment. Who do you bring on that revitalises Leeds in this situation? Here's Tanaka. Now Bogle charging forward up against Cucurella. He needs more options though, Bogle. Still going Bogle. Oh, he's tackled at the last minute as he was going into the box there. Really unlucky from Jayden Bogle. Here's Ampadu. Now Mecha. Mecha with a pass towards Tanaka, but straight to Cucurella. Not very good in the end, but Ampadu just takes the ball off João Pedro immediately. And it's going to be a free kick for something here. So Gittins is coming off for Chelsea for Garnacho. And it looks like Liam Delap is coming off for Cole Palmer as well. So that's Garnacho on, Gittins off, Palmer on, Delap off. Come on, Leeds. Half an hour to hold on here. Here's Cucurella. Chalobah. Adarabioyo. Oh, imagine if that third goal had accounted. Would have been so good. Here is Adarabioyo now. Enzo Fernandez. Pedro Neto. Cross now to Chalobah. Here's Palmer. First contribution here. Gives the ball back again to the defensive line. Strauch doing really well there to get the ball. Mecha can't hold on to it. Come on, lads. You've got to make the ball stick. Yeah, it might even just be, like you say, it might even, Gavin, just be as much as having fresh legs come on the pitch make a difference in the running numbers. If we had somebody like Longstaff, it'd be perfect to bring him on in this game and do a lot of running in that midfield, winning the ball back and setting us off on breaks. But, of course, he's injured and you've not got the pace of Dan James as well. So you're looking at Okafor as a striking option. Midfield-wise, there's not that much going on the Leeds bench that's going to change things. You've got Gruev, who potentially could be a more defensive option, who could help shore things up a little bit. But in terms of an attacking option, I just hope he doesn't bring Aronson on because he's not physical enough for a game like this, which has become quite a physical battle. Looks like Pedro Neto then is going to take this free kick into the box. Perry can just catch that one and fall on it. Rolled out to Anton Stack here by Lucas Perry. Now Goodmanson. Stack again. Strauch. Ampadu. Long ball forward by Perry. Metcha's got time to just bring that one down perfectly. Cuts back there. Now Tanaka. Now Stack. Goodmanson. Goodmanson trying to get past Gusto here. That's going to be a throw-in to Leeds, which I imagine Ampadu will come across and take as a long throw-in here. Ampadu then with the throw in here. Yeah, if you are going to play three at the back and those wing backs are going to drop into a five, they've got to be able to get forward as well to provide the attacking threat. And they do, to be fair to them, both have that in the locker. Ampadu with the throw in. Cleared there. Little ball around the corner. Can Bogle get there ahead of Pedro Neto? He can. And that stops that counter-attack in its tracks. Ball forward there from Perry has gone to nobody. Gained some distance, but the ball hasn't gone to anybody. Here's Gusto. Now Chalaba. Cucurella. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Chewy, but I also think that there's they'll get tired. That's granted, the front two, but I think there is something to be said for how physical they've been. But and they've provided threat in this game, but Okafor might be a good shout because he offers something completely different. Okafor offers the ability to get the ball and just run at them, which I don't think the other two really have at all. Enzo Fernandez is going to try and play that forward, but there was an offside just before that. It's going to be a Leeds free kick. Substitution for Leeds United. It is Ilya Gruev that is coming on. And Ao Tanaka that is coming off. Oh, so Okafor is coming on for Metcha. And Tanaka is coming off for Gruev. That is the substitution that has just happened. Gruev on. Metcha off. Okafor on. Tanaka off. Don't know why I said it that way around. That was the wrong way around, but still. Perry with a long goal kick then, or free kick. Calvert-Lewin winning that knockdown. Gruev gets a foot in there, but it's going to be a throw-in to... Okafor has come on up front for Metcha, and Gruev has come on in the midfield for Tanaka. Sunderland are winning. What is going on? How do they keep doing this? Here is Robert Sanchez. Yeah, Talby scored for Sunderland in the 67th minute. Liverpool 0, Sunderland 1. Doesn't really matter much to us in the grand scheme of things because Sunderland are already safe. Here's toss in with the ball forward. Biol, though, can get there ahead of João Pedro and give that one back to Lucas Perry. Remember, guys, if a goal goes in this game, please do not tell me until you've seen me react to it on the stream, because otherwise I won't have seen it yet and it will spoil it for me if you see it before I do. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Now Cole Palmer tries to play a ball over the top, headed straight away by Anton Stack there. Oh, Garnacho has gone past Bogle here. Chance for him to get the ball in the box. He's crossed it. And the little cut back to Palmer there has been dragged wide. Hopefully Palmer returning to the side tonight. has a little bit of rust in him, and he certainly did there as he dragged that shot wide, because that could have easily been 2-2 there. Perry had no chance. It could have easily been 2-2, but he's dragged it wide. Although, if it was more accurate, I think Biol might have got a foot on it. Might have blocked it. But as it stands, precariously, it is still 2-1 to Leeds. Okafor's on the pitch, CR81. There's a Chelsea player down here as Leeds were pressing there. Chalobah it is. There's nothing in that at all, really. I don't know why everybody's surrounding the ref and stuff. Like, he just jumped and there was no maliciousness in it or anything. Well, Chalobah's been asked to leave the field for 30 seconds. That's why he's been temporarily asked to leave the field. And the Chelsea players are having a bit of an argument with the referee about it. Back underway again here. Cucurella with a long ball forward. Picked up by Gruev, though. Now Ampadu. Rodon all the way back to Perry, who's going to send that one high, but not very long. Stack goes for the header, but Calvert-Lewin's the one who brings it down with his feet in the end. Rodon back to... tries to play it to Ampadu, but Ampadu falls over there, and now Garnacho down the left-hand side. Bit of a mistake from Leeds has allowed them in a little bit here. Shot, half pass from Fernandez cut out, but it's straight back to Garnacho, headed away again by Ampadu. Calvert-Lewin gets a little touch on it, but it's not enough to redirect the flow of the ball enough. Here's Pedro Neto. Taken away from Gusto by Okafor and Gruev. Now Perry sends that one long towards Calvert-Lewin. Leeds trying to win the ball back here, and Ampadu does, and now Bogle has it. Bogle to Stack. Leeds with a counter-attack here. Ball back down the line to Bogle. Bogle tries to cross it. It's cut out there by Chelsea, but Leeds do get the ball back. Here's Ampadu into Strauch. Strauch's bypassed the first player. Ball out wide here to Goodmanson, who plays it into the box. It's cleared away, though, by the Chelsea central defender. Strauch back out wide to Goodmanson. Leeds still with the ball in this situation. Crowd getting up for it. Goodmanson trying to go past Gusto. He's claimed he's been blocked there, but just wasn't strong enough. The Swede! Oh my God! 3-1! 3-1! Calvert-Lewin's had two absolute gifts in 2 games. Chelsea absolute howler at the back. Leeds 3, Chelsea 1. Calvert-Lewin with 2 absolute tap-ins in 2 games. Come on! You just need a bit of luck sometimes, and we got it. It comes from the pressure that Leeds are putting on them in the final third. The ball drops for Calvert-Lewin right in front of the goalkeeper. So Goodmanson tries to take on Gusto, falls over, right? Gusto then kind of looks up. Fernandez gives it back to him. Gusto gives it back to Tosin, who gets tackled by Okafor. Yeah, Okafor gets to Tosin before he can realise, and then Okafor's shot slips under the goalkeeper. Yeah, and Calvert-Lewin was behind the ball when it happened, and then Calvert-Lewin can just tap it in. 3-1 to Leeds. Come on! Are we waiting for a check on this? It's been given. I don't know what the check was for, but Any Chelsea fans watching? Just drops. Calvert-Lewin cannot believe his luck. Cannot believe his luck. Thank you so much, Chewy, for the super chat. Get in. Surely the super chat won't jinx us this time. I bloody hope not, Chewy. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really, really appreciate that. We're back underway again, though. Here is Garnacho. He's tossing. I wonder if Tosin wasn't expecting somebody to get to him so fast because Metcha's nowhere near as fast as Okafor. Okafor has left the ball behind in that situation, but Leeds have just won the ball back again. Here's Calvert-Lewin. Good turn from him and ball out wide to Bogle. Leeds have got a break again. Chelsea plenty numbers back, but Leeds are whipping the ball towards the back post. Not a bad idea from Bogle there, but Okafor wasn't quite on the same wavelength. Okafor tried to make a back post run when Bogle's ball was a front post kind of ball. Cucurella, Chalobah, cross to Tosin. Here's Chalobah again. Marching on together, belts out around Elland Road. Here's Palmer trying to play a ball over and through for Cucurella, but Biol can just run away from him there. Now Strauch. Long ball forward, cut out there though by Tosin. Now Gusto. Gusto's going to go all the way back there to Robert Sanchez. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Now Pedro Neto. Honestly, we should have a clean sheet and should be 4-0 up. Genuinely. Because the goal that they scored, if Goodmanson doesn't just leave the ball thinking it's going out of play, then they don't score, and then Metcha's shot should have been in. The one that should have been anywhere but straight at the goalkeeper. Here's Gusto. Looking for a crossing opportunity, but goes back out wide to Pedro Neto. Back to the middle of the box now for Andre Santos. Out wide again, Gusto. Enzo Fernandez with the ball to the back post. It's headed away, just a little flick on it. Gets it as wide as Garnacho here up against Bogle. Ball into the box, cut out there by Rodon, and it's going to be a throw-in over on the other side for Chelsea. So Chelsea are making a substitution here. Mark Guiu is coming on for Andre Santos. So that's a striker for a central midfielder. Here's Gusto. Pedro Neto now. Enzo Fernandez. Crossing opportunity here. João Pedro headed away by Yacobillo, then flicked on. Oh, that's a handball there. That's a handball if the ref hasn't seen that. Oh my God, that's shocking. That's a yellow card as well because he stopped a clear counter-attack. Leeds would have been in behind then. Calvert-Lewin flicks it on towards Okafor. Yeah, and he just handballs it and stops it. Shocking. See, Okafor's fast enough to be in behind there. Even from like the halfway line, he's in. Lucas Perry with a long ball forward here. Straight into touch. That was good. I think Lucas Perry had a hair transplant just before he signed. Strauch into Ampadu. Ampadu's done well there. Charging forward here, Ethan Ampadu. Now, Bogle. Cross into the box has not gone well, but he's going to win it back again. Bogle back across. Lands on the roof of the net. I think that's going to be a Chelsea goal kick, unfortunately, there for Jayden Bogle. Here is Garnacho going down the left-hand side now. Looking for a passing option. Here is Calvert-Lewin. Leeds have got a break on here. He's got Stack on one side. The real option is Okafor, though, who he's found with a great pass here, Calvert-Lewin. Here's Okafor. Back to Goodmanson. Goodmanson puts it into Rosed. Yeah, he had to just kind of play that across the box there, Goodmanson, but it's a good ball there from Calvert-Lewin to Okafor. Oh, yeah, Gruev was the one that was on there. If he could have cut that back across. Here's Cucurella. Is Enzo Fernandez. Now Cole Palmer. Liverpool 1, Sunderland 1. Enzo Fernandez now. Now Gusto. Enzo Fernandez again. João Pedro. Now Tosin, Chalobah, and now Gusto. Sorry, that's not Gusto, that's Cucurella. Now out wide to Garnacho. Ball across the box, it's gone through everyone and eventually cleared by Gabriel Goodmanson. Last ditch clearance there by the Swede. He's Tosin. Now Enzo Fernandez. He's Enzo Fernandez. Oh, to Gusto. Tries to play it in, though, and now Leeds can potentially come away with it. Here's Gruev with a little chipped ball into the feet of Okafor. Okafor's done so well there. Wirtz is the goal scorer in that Liverpool game. Goodmanson. Ball down the line there for Calvert-Lewin to chase. He nearly got there ahead of the goalkeeper there, but open goal here for Okafor. He shoots as a player back there to stop that. When I say an open goal, I mean from like 50, 60 yards out. Here is Enzo Fernandez now carrying the ball forward. Ball out wide here to Pedro Neto. Header away by Biol from that cross by Neto, but it's only as far as Malo Gusto, the French fullback. Now Enzo Fernandez. Crossed into the box here. Rodon clears it away, but only as far as Pedro Neto again out on the right wing. Gusto with a header into the box, cross into the box, and a header by Mark Yu. And that's going to be a Leeds United goal kick as it goes over the bar. Safely from Leeds' perspective. $36,760 something on the attendance tonight at Elland Road, so not quite a full house, but that could be that certain little bits are closed. Perry then with the goal kick. It's not a great one. Jakob Biol gets a very, very important touch on that to take it away from Pedro Neto. Strauch Good challenge there by Strauch, and then by Ampadu. This is the Leeds we want to see. And then a foul by João Pedro. Good challenges flying in from Leeds. I get nervous, Trev. I get like that feeling in your pit of your stomach, but just figure voicing that may not help the situation for everybody else as well. Some good challenges flying in from Leeds there. Ampadu absolutely sat Enzo Fernandez on his arse when Enzo Fernandez thought he was going to go for a big tackle on Ampadu then. And then Ampadu just sat him on his arse. Yes, that does help, Stripper. Here's Marc Cucurella. Now Enzo Fernandez. Tossing Adebayo. Now Malo Gusto. Down the line to Pedro Neto. Another little ball forward to Marc Giu. And then Biol can just stop that attack, although he has given it straight to Malo Gusto again. Yeah, well done, Leeds. Gurev gets the ball back there. Here's Okafor. Okafor still trying to come forward here. Oh, nearly took it away from both Cucurella and Chalobah there. Here's Palmer. Palmer with a cross into the box that took a bit of a deflection, and then Goodmanson again can clear that one away. Only as far as Cucurella, though. Cucurella. Back out wide again to Garnacho. Cross into the box. Perry can catch it and fall on it and take his time. So, judging by the fact that, as has just been mentioned in the chat by Mahivara, a couple of substitutions for Leeds, by the way. But basically, we've just beat the world champion. Well, that's a bit of a faux pas. We are beating currently the world champions. So does that make us the best team in the world? So Joel Pirou comes on for Calvert-Lewin. And James Justin, who is number 24, comes on for Jaden Bogle. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Long switch. Goodmanson picks that up nicely after Pedro Neto just dives on the floor. Ball down the line there from Goodmanson's going to go very far. Pedro Neto is telling the linesman to F off. Is that not grounds for a card? Here's Malo Gusto. Pedro Neto again here with the ball. Cuts inside. Away by Rodon. Chested down here by Tosin, and now over and across to Chalobah. Now Marc Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez with the ball forward here to João Pedro, who was offside, but Leeds have defended it well regardless. Now, that is the first time the ball has stopped since Neto was abusing the linesman. So surely the linesman will say, just whilst the play has stopped, give Pedro Neto a yellow card because he told me to F off. Gary Neville has given Ethan Ampadu player of the match. Is Cucurella clearing that one only as far as Strauch, though, who's almost playing as a midfielder now. Pirou back over to Goodmanson. Pirou. Goodmanson again. Oh, Goodmanson slipped and oh, here's Piru in the box. Now Pascal Strauch. Strauch with a cross, headed away. Goodmanson went like to shimmy one way and then go the other, but actually nearly fell over, but it made Gusto fall over, so it actually worked. Liverpool 1-1. Liverpool was already 1-1. It was Wirtz who'd scored and Talby who'd scored for Sunderland. Is it 2-1? Here's Cucurella. Now toss in. Now João Pedro. Cole Palmer. Ball down the line here to Garnacho up against James Justin. Justin here trying to stop Palmer getting a ball into the box, but Ampadu manages to. Then another cross. Leeds trying to get rid of it. Okafor trying to do his best. Here's Pedro Neto. Too many Pedros. Ball crossed, or attempted to cross into the box, has been blocked by Goodmanson. I think fullbacks have been really good as well. I think Gabriel Goodmanson would have been my man of the match had he not had really poor positioning for their goal. 6 added minutes, everyone. 6 added minutes. Oh, originally it had said Wirtz and now it's his own goal. Right, okay. That makes sense. There's a bloke that's got a season ticket behind Daniel Farker that wears a San Francisco's 49ers hat, and I see him every single game. Neto into the box, headed away, shot is sliced into Rosed by Enzo Fernandez. Calvert-Lewin was good as well. I think Metcha and Calvert-Lewin their games are going to be raised by playing together. I think they're isolated and on their own when they're playing as a singular frontman. You've got to have a kind of a special striker to be able to play as a lone striker, especially in the Premier League. So I think having 2 decent strikers together makes up for that. James Justin just losing out there. But Anton Stack is able to get the ball back there, or at least get it back for Ampadu, who is fouled there by Cole Palmer, and it's going to be a Leeds United free kick. Anton Stack is asking James Justin to give him a bit of a hand with his hamstring there, but Leeds are going to make another substitution here, and we're going to see the first Premier League appearance of Sebastian Bornau. Yeah, who has been injured a lot, but was very competent in that one Sheffield Wednesday game I saw him in. Anton Stack then with a cross into the box from this set piece, headed away by Biol. It was there, the wrong direction, that Biol. Ball forward, cut out there by Justin. Well done, Justin. Done it again there. Now Ampadu. Oh, Ampadu's absolutely skinned Cucurella and Garnacho. And he's been fouled for his troubles. So number 3 is coming off, which is Gabriel Gudmundsson, and he is being replaced by Sebastian Bornau. Sebastian Bornau then takes the place of Gabriel Goodmanson. And of course, Sebastian Bornau is not a marauding fullback, so you'd imagine he is probably going to stick in that back line a lot more than what Goodmanson was and not really go forward too much. No problem, Dale. I enjoy doing these, and it gives me a chance to commentate. Hopefully someday someone from a broadcaster goes, oh, he's pretty good at commentating. Give him a job. Stack with the header there. Maybe when Bryn Law retires, I can be the official Leeds United commentator. Born out for man of the match. I didn't, Chewy. That was a Spanish accent. When they did their green, I know why you're saying that, but you know what? You know when they did their green screen thing where they kind of stand there and they say the names. Like one of them they'll go Jaden Bogle, and they'll say the name so that everyone knows how to pronounce them. Cucarella's was Marc Cucarella. So that's why it's very satisfying to say it like that. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody who's new here, who's joined us. Thanks so much for joining us. This has been a very good game to watch, as well. Here's Anton Stack winning the ball back, but that is going to be a foul there by Stack on João Pedro. And it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea here. Remember, guys, my Etsy shop is in the description below. You can see it on screen now. If you use code Christmas25, you get 15% off, and there's already 20% off, so that's 35% off. As the ball goes down the line towards Noah Okafor here, Cole Palmer and Chalobah trying to close him down. Good tackle there by Okafor, and it is going to go out for a Chelsea throw-in, but right by their own corner flag with just a minute to go here. Yeah, as soon as the full-time whistle goes, you best believe we're hearing da, 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 da. Header by... Hopefully this stream doesn't get claimed now. Good touch there, but actually bad touch there by Jacobillo, but in the end he skins Garnacho and deals with it. And so yes, I've seen your name before, Anto, when I used to do the midweek fix and the final word and all that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm glad you've enjoyed it. Ball back to Lucas Perry as you hear the Olays ring out around Elland Road. That is the final whistle. Leeds United 3, Chelsea 1. What a way to get 3 points. Thank you everybody so much for everybody who has joined us tonight. Thank you for all of our Leeds Let Lead members. Thank you to all of our new subscribers as well, and all of our new people who've joined us. Remember, like I said, go to the Etsy link in the description for some Christmas presents, some wall art designed by me. But most importantly, Leeds United 3, Chelsea 1 sees us go up to, let's have a look, sees us go up to 17th place. 14 points from 14 games, which is a point a game, which is what you need to survive in the Premier League. 3 goals from Leeds United today. Could have been more, and we really shouldn't have even conceded in this game. A very, very strong, accomplished performance. 3-5-2 seems to be the way forward. Let's see how we play against Liverpool at the weekend, who, of course, are a side struggling for form at the moment. Hence, at the moment, still drawing 1-1 with Sunderland, going right into the final stages. No, it is ended 1-1 with Sunderland, that game. And, of course, Leeds United, 14 points. 14 points for Leeds now, going into the game at the weekend. Things can change very quickly when you string just a couple of results together. But look, really, really good, accomplished performance from Leeds tonight. A really good, accomplished performance. Really good performances from all around. And oh my God, I'm glad I stayed for a little bit longer. Thank you so much, Robert, for the $50 super chat. I massively, massively appreciate that. That means so much to me. Like I said, I've gone full time with YouTube and graphic design and stuff at the moment. So things like that genuinely make a big difference in my life at the moment. So thank you so much, Robert. Really, really appreciate that. Best believe you will be top fan for the weekend's game. But as you say, OMG, we have beaten Chelsea at home 3-1. Goals from Jakobijol, Altanaka and Dominic Calvert-Lewin see off a Chelsea side who had a few changes in the lineup, but I think for the most part we kept them very, very quiet. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us. Thank you for all of our Leeds Lately members. Thank you, of course, as well to those of you who left super chats, and special mention to Robert Wetzel, who left that $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Robert, for your continued support. It is massively, massively appreciated. What a win that is. Match reaction shall be out as soon as I can get it recorded and get it uploaded. You can watch it tonight or you can watch it tomorrow, but I'll be talking a little bit more in detail about the tactics in the game and stuff as well. But as it stands, Leeds United are out of the relegation zone. 3 points, 3 goals, a real confident display of football at Elland Road there. Going into our game against Liverpool, again, at Elland Road, at the weekend. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining me this evening. It's been a blast with you all here. And yeah, if you haven't already... Wait, sorry, Robert, I'll have to remove your super chat. There you go. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the match reaction will be out shortly. Tomorrow at 12 p.m, there will be a Liverpool tactical preview talking about the way that Liverpool play, talking about this 3 at the back system and how it might work well against Liverpool. So check that out as well. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining me. Thank you, all of those of you who've come over from Joe's. Hope Joe gets well soon. I didn't know that he was ill, of course, until somebody mentioned it. Hope he gets well soon. But yeah, what a game that is. What a performance. 3 points, 3 goals. And I shall see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you there. I'll see you next time. The last word I messed up.